Christianity isn't just a religion, it's a relationship. All throughout the Bible, we see how God desires our heart, and he desires relationship with us over blind obedience or over just following the rules just because they're the rules. He looks at the heart and the intent behind every single action. All throughout the Bible, we see this. For example, in Hosea 6:6, it says this, "For I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings." In this time, the Israelites were offering burnt offerings to God to cover their sin, but they were doing it out of a place where they would just throw up the offering, and they didn't have any love for God behind the action. They were just doing it because they knew God wanted that thing, but they didn't care about God. They just were following blindly, and God said he didn't like this. He would rather have steadfast love than blind obedience and just following the rules. We can use this in our own lives. We don't just need to strive to follow the rules as well as we can. That is important, and it is important to follow the teachings of Christianity and to follow what Jesus teaches us. But even more important than that is the heart behind it. God looks at our heart, and he wants us to truly love him and to follow him out of a deep respect and a deep love for him. We need to be loving God, and all else will follow. When we draw near to God, he draws near to us. And when we draw near to God, everything else follows. We can't follow the rules perfectly on our own, ever. We will never be able to do that. We will always mess up and fall short because we're human. But when we strive to draw near to God, all the other stuff follows. When we draw near to God, it becomes easier to follow him because we are loving him and we have a deep understanding of his character, and that makes us want to truly follow him more and more. If we're just striving to follow the rules as best we can on our own, we will always fail. Only through God's love and through his power will we be able to succeed in that. In Mathew 22:36, it says this, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" And Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." Literally, the greatest commandment in all of Christianity is to love God with everything that we have. He wants us to be in relationship with him so much that he makes that his most important command is to love him. And he doesn't just command us to love him and then expect nothing from him. He wants to be in relationship with him, and that's a two-way relationship. We have to do things and he has to do things. And it says in James chapter 4 verse 8 that if we draw near to God, he will draw near to you. So like I said, it's a two-way relationship. We have to do something and he will do something. If we draw near to God, he will draw near to us. It goes both ways. And if we love God, he will love us. He loves us unconditionally already, but he loves it when we love him, and he will draw near to us. So draw near to God, and he will seek that relationship out with you. If you knock on that door asking for a relationship with God, he is never going to slam that door in your face because he loves us unconditionally. If we knock on that door asking for a relationship with him, he will open that door, and he will grant us a relationship with him. And so many blessings will stem from that. He blesses us so much when we have a relationship with him. One of the worst parts about Christianity is if you're right on the fence. If you're living in a place where you're just believing in God, but you're not following him and you don't have a relationship with him. Because then when you're on this fence, when you're in that situation, you get all of the shame and all of the guilt because you know all the things that you're doing are wrong. You're purposely not following God, and you're living on this fence where you know his teachings over here, you know what he says to do, but you're living right here on this fence where you're purposely going against God. Maybe not purposely, but you know what you're doing is wrong. So you're living on this fence and you get all the shame from knowing what's right and you're still doing what's wrong. But if you're actually going all in and living with Jesus, living in relationship with him, then so many blessings stem from that. And you no longer get the shame from living on the fence because you can repent to Jesus and you will be in relationship with him. And you know that he truly will forgive you when you go to him with that sin. So I just want to encourage you guys to seek that relationship with God. Because like this says, if you draw near to him, he will draw near to you. And the unexplainable peace that stems from God will fill you when you are in that relationship with him. And if you're not in a relationship with Jesus and you're just believing and you don't really know where you're at, then you live on the fence, and it's an awful place to be. So draw near to God so that he will draw near to you. Your life will radically change. My own life has changed so much, and there are so many people's lives who have changed because of Jesus and because of the relationship that he offers to us. If this video was helpful, I would love for you guys to subscribe, comment any questions that you have or any future video ideas that you want me to make. I love answering you guys and just praying for you all. So comment below, like this video because it will help me share the gospel and get the word of Jesus out there. Thank you so much for watching.